What's up everybody, and welcome back. If this is your first time and you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As you see, we are chugging along to try and get to that 1,000 subscribers, and your subscription would be very helpful. So today I'm recommending Tokimori-san is Completely Defenseless. This is a manga being written by Tezawa and has 41 chapters so far, and is a comedy, ecchi, romance, seinen slice of life. Now, in all honesty, I am not fully caught up with it. I'm only on chapter 15, I think it is. Nope, never mind. I'm on chapter 20, so I'm about halfway caught up with this. And so far, it's definitely not ecchi, but it definitely is fantastic. So this story is about Sugawa Toru and Tokimori Mizuki. So both the MC and the FMC work in the same place. So we're dealing with adults here, which I know for some of you, and for me, every now and again, that is a fantastic thing to be dealing with when you're just starting with a manga with adults so we can have an adult relationship. So they're co-workers at the same place. Sugawa is actually living with Tokimori. Are they together? No. The reason that he's living with her is because his apartment got demolished. Why? I don't know. I think the owner sold it so that it would be demolished for the money. So he's living in a capsule. He finds Tokimori resting kind of in a back alley after a drinking party. I don't think she's drunk. I think she's just tired and resting. But he finds her and he's like, let me take you home, right? You probably shouldn't be just chilling in a back alley. That's not the best thing you can do. So he takes her home and he's like, okay, I'm gonna get out of here. She's like, all right, well, how far do you live? And he's like, well, I'm staying in a capsule hotel because my apartment building doesn't exist anymore. And it's the only place that I can afford right now. So she suggests that he should stay with her because apparently she has an extra room and, you know, it's better than a capsule hotel. And from there, the adorableness ensues, because other than paying half of the rent, Sugawa has to basically take care of Tokimori outside of work, because apparently Tokimori is one of those anime females who is awful at literally everything except for work. But it's not even that she's awful at everything outside of work, because you find out later that she's not. It's just that she gives 100% max effort at work. So when she comes home, she's exhausted. So she doesn't want to cook, she doesn't want to clean, she just wants to go to sleep. And when Sugawa first gets there, she doesn't even have a bed because she's just like sleeping on the ground and stuff. That's how exhausted she is. So really, she might have a medical condition, she might have anemia, there's probably something greater going on that you're falling asleep on the floor to the point where you're too tired to even get a bed. But that's the situation that he walks into. So the two of them start living together. They're obviously still working together, and they're getting closer to each other because Tokimori, even though she doesn't say it, she feels like she's a useless woman because she's not doing all of these other things like cooking and cleaning. Not for him, but just for herself and for her own life. I think she thinks she's a little bit of a disaster, but he's willing to do them because you find out when he was young, his dad died from some kind of sickness, and his mother started overworking herself and was collapsing out of exhaustion. So really, he's doing it out of a place of like, I don't want this to happen to you, what I saw happen to me. And it's one of the reasons that he works so hard as well. And I know that visually, this manga might not seem like that serious of a manga. And for the first few chapters, it wasn't this serious. It didn't get into these things. This is one of those mangas that it's gonna take like 5 chapters, 6 chapters, 8 chapters to really get into the meat of the story. Because at the beginning, you don't know this. So it just looks like one of those routine kind of romance comedies where they kind of repeat the same things day in and day out as the two characters get closer until they inevitably get together, right? That's how this manga starts out, just like any other that you would assume like it. Fortunately though, it does get into deeper things. It gets into that part about Toru and his past. Not a whole lot. It doesn't spend a lot of time there. It spends most of its time on the two of them and their kind of daily shenanigans, showing that Tokimori isn't good good at these things until one day you see that she actually is good at them. She's just too exhausted from life and from work to actually do them after work. Now, where I'm at in the manga, which again is 20 chapters in, it does seem that the story is getting more serious. Not in like it's gonna be like a drama, but more serious in the sense that it introduced Tokimori's ex, who clearly left some emotional scars on her that Sugawa is helping her heal just from being nice and taking care of her. Now, some of the taking care of gets a bit extreme, like helping her unbutton her shirt and whatnot. That's a bit extreme, obviously, but that's just for the enjoyment of us, not really for the progress of the story, and that's more towards the beginning. That's not something that's really taking place now, especially with the story becoming more developed and them focusing more on them getting closer together. Tokimori clearly, obviously, already has feelings for Sugawa, because not just of how nice he's been and how he's kind of been taking care of her, but because of how he came to her defense when her ex showed up, because yeah, her ex shows up in the story. And this is what I said, how it gets a little more mature, a little more drama, but it's not focused on that, at least not yet. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will become more and more mature as it goes on. Obviously not to the point of becoming a drama, because it is still mostly a comedy, but the progression of the story so far has been really good, especially because honestly, I wouldn't be recommending this if it stayed like the first 5 chapters where it was kind of just a regular rom-com, same thing, day in, day out, without any progression of the story, really. That's not to say that I wouldn't recommend it because it's not good. I just wouldn't think about recommending it because it would be so basic. Fortunately, though, the story evolves, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna finish catching up with it today, probably tonight. I'm gonna be caught up, and I found it today, so that should speak volumes of how good, at least I think it is. That doesn't mean that it's perfect, but man, it's enjoyable. It's one of those soft, adorable romance manga with a little mature drama thrown in. Not mature in the sense of ecchi. Honestly, I don't know why it has that tag. I'm halfway through it. Nothing ecchi has happened. Have you seen some panty shots? Once? But that's honestly it. Maybe as I get closer towards actually catching up, more of that will happen. How this manga is evolving, how the story is progressing, I doubt that'll happen. But if you want to read an adorable romance comedy with adult office workers, I think you'll enjoy this. I definitely am, and I'm gonna keep reading it as it keeps going. So if this looks interesting to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the TooTaku podcast. All links are in the description boxes down below. Other than that, I will see all of you in the next one.